All right, great Sunday morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well. It says I'm Mascoro Jr. with Manufactured Home Sales Mastery in with our 15 minutes of mastery that we do each and every day to get you some information, inspiration, and motivation. And today is Sunday. It's our Sunday Recharge edition. I hope you guys are having a great Sunday morning so far because, well, tomorrow is Monday. Tomorrow is the start of the week, and we want to make sure you guys get started off on the right foot. So hopefully you're taking some time today on this Sunday to be able to plan out your week, plan out your day, and that way you can be as most effective. And even more importantly, because of what we're talking about today, coming to you live from the home office, getting ready to go to a soccer game and then head out to Tyler, Texas. I'll be in Tyler, Texas all next week. So looking forward to getting back out there with the great group out in Tyler, working with them this week. And then, we've only got a couple more weeks this week. And then next week, probably another full week. And after that, we're down to 2 or 3 days a month with those guys. They're taking charge, doing some great things over there. But listen, I want to talk to you about goals. I'm going to talk to you about how most people, starting next week, will already have given up on their goals. Okay. Harriet Beecher Stowe writes, "Never give up, for that is just the place and time that the tide will turn." So I'm going to repeat that for you, okay? Because I want you to understand, you can't give up. You can't give up on the goals, but we're going to touch on that just a little bit. But that quote it's really powerful when you stop thinking about it. Never give up, for that is just a place and time that the tide will turn. In other words, if you fight through it, if you don't give up and you fight through the challenge, you fight through whatever's making you doubt, you fight through giving up on them, that's the moment that everything shifts. In that moment where you were going to give up, where you had already just said, man, it's not that important. I'll just make sure I stay on, as best I can on track with what I've got going on. When you zone in and focus in and realize, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to give up on this. That's when everything shifts for you. In other words, when you reach that breaking point, most times when you reach that breaking point, that full point of doubt, that uncertainty, when you're scared out of your mind, you're nervous, you don't know what's going to happen, how it's going to happen. And when you just push through and you keep you've got to keep putting in the work. You got to keep attacking. You got to keep being consistent. You got to keep doing the things that you've got to get done, even though you may think they're not getting you anywhere. You have to keep doing those things, putting in the work, putting in the action. That's when the tide turns. You see, the third week in January is usually when most people drop their goals, whatever goals may be, or it's not even so much that they drop them. Most of them just forget about them, which is the same thing. Most people stop putting in the daily actions that they said they were going to do. And they give themselves the pass to not go after, I've got this going on, or I've got that going on. I've done it way too many times in my life. What about you? What about you? Have you been that way? Have you seen yourself doing that with your own goals, with your own life, with your own business? Okay. I'm going to give you a little bit of some real life examples. Okay. So for all you housing consultants out there and community managers, when I was selling, man, I used to come up with these fantastic goals, and I actually have the majority of them still saved in my computer. At least over the last 10 to 15 years, I've got them saved. But you start going in, you're at the office, you're working, you're attacking, you're doing the things you got to be doing. And then with time, you just start skipping this one thing, or you start skipping this other thing. And next thing you know, you're kind of just winging it all the time. You know what you need to be doing, you know what you need to be taking care of for yourself, but you're just kind of meandering through. You're going through the motions. I did that so many times in my life. I've had some just huge plans and goals throughout my life, throughout my last 50, well, I'm going to say probably my last 40, 35 years, okay, of my life. But every time I would let something fall through. Okay. I think you guys may have heard me talk about how back in 2014, no, yeah, about 2014, I think it was, I was actually talking to Grant Cardone, directly with Grant Cardone back then, about doing all his content in his training programs in Spanish. Obviously, he didn't have it. He didn't have everything back in 2014 that he has now, but we were in talks about that. Had talked to him a couple times, and then was dealing with his assistant, and I let that slip through. I didn't get back to her on the thing that I was going to get done, and I just convinced myself to just let it go. And I stop and think back. Had I followed through, had I been the person that I am now, where would I be? What would I be doing? And it's the same thing with you. And now where I am in life, and as an individual, as a professional, as a business owner, believe me, there's been plenty of times that I've wondered, what am I going to do? I'm at the end of my rope here. But I just keep putting in the work. I keep putting in the action. I keep making the calls. I keep sending the emails. I keep in communication with the people that I'm working with, that we've got some things pending. And right when I feel like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm going to do, a new deal falls through, or a new deal goes through, and we pick up some money. I mean, heck, guys, I'm talking as that's as recent as a few days ago. I've mentioned to you before, look, when you're starting a business, you're bootstrapping a business. You've got no investors. You got no capital behind you. You got no one that's providing the money. You're just building this thing, grinding it out. You're one day away from going bankrupt, right? And earlier this week, when we were in Louisville, I'm like, okay, what's going to happen here? Some things have got to happen. Some things have got to happen, because, my gosh, it's Thursday already, and we're at that point. Like, what's going to happen? But I keep pushing through, keep talking to people, keep reaching out, and I'm intentional about it. If you hear me now, I'm very intentional when I talk to people. And next thing you know, the most unlikely situation to work out actually works out. I'd spoken to somebody on my way to Louisville when we were on our layover in Dallas, and talking to him about possibly doing some consulting. He was going to head over to Louisville. We met there in Louisville, spoke, and Friday got everything worked out. So I'm here to tell you from experience, right at that moment where you feel like everything's going to just crumble, as long as you keep putting in the work, you keep fighting through, you know that you're putting in the work, and it's real intentional work. And that, my friends, is the difference. Because everybody can show up to the office. You can be a housing consultant, community manager. You can be showing up to the office and you're doing the daily things, but that doesn't mean you're being intentional about your work. That doesn't mean that you're truly pushing the needle forward every single day. You're stepping on that thing, man, and you're fighting it. It's pushing back on you, and you're pushing and you're pushing, and no, it's got to go. It's got to go. It's got to happen. It's got to happen. That's intentional. That's intentionality. And there's a big difference. And those are the things that we talk to our clients about and the people that we work with is intentionality. And I'm trying to bring to you what I know works because it works in our business. And if it works in our business, it's going to be even easier. If you are that intentional, it's going to be even easier in an established company, established business, established industry. Remember, we have to be this persistent and this powerful and this intentional because we're lifting up a business that never existed. There's nothing like it in the industry, and we're building it out of thin air. We took some dirt. I was describing it to somebody at the airport that I ran into. Cullen, shout out to Cullen. We ran into the airport. I ran into him at the airport, and I was telling him, "Look, man, you could leave what you're doing right now and go back to selling homes. I could leave what I'm doing right and go back to selling homes, and you make money. You'll make money hand over fist." Because it's an existing business, it's an existing industry, people are looking for it. We here at Manufactured Home Sales Mastery, I took something that did not exist and I'm trying to create it. I'm trying to form it. It's like making a statue or something. I'm putting it together as we go, and now it's taking shape. 2 years later, it's kind of resembling something that people are recognizing. And it takes that much intentionality to make that happen. And if you put that much intentionality into a business that already exists, that people are in the market for, that they're looking for, you can't help but win. It would be so easy for me to drop this and go into some location, just crush anything that I do there now with what I know. But I know that this is where I need to be here, and we're doing it. We're going to make it happen the same way. And I'm just letting you know right now is not the time to stop. That moment where you feel you need to give up, you need to stop, and you need to just let it go, that's when you need to push further, even harder. But make sure the big separator, ladies and gentlemen, is this. Make sure that every day, as scary as it is, as uncertain as it is, as painful as and gut-wrenching inside, and you may not be letting it show, you've got to keep pushing hard and putting in intentional effort, intentional work. Don't be that housing and soil community manager. Just post ads. Well, I post my ads. I'm being intentional. That's not intentionality. That's part of it. It's what are you doing with the leads that are coming from? Are you being intentional with them? Well, I don't want to be pushy. I don't want to. No, you have to be. Because if not, everything else is going to be put in front before you. And you need to be the top priority in their lives. But the only way you're going to be that is by being intentional. So don't give up on your goals. Don't let go of what you're doing. Right now is not the time. Right now is the time that if you push through with intentionality, great things are going to happen. Man, I hope you guys have a great Sunday recharge. Take some time, plan out your week, do some fantastic things. Let's make this week strong. Tomorrow, Monday, a lot of great things happening. All right, a lot of great changes. Let's go out and attack. You guys have a fantastic Sunday. We'll be talking again tomorrow with another 15 Minutes to Mastery from Tyler, Texas. You guys be safe. Talk to you soon. And until then, my friends, as always, I can't wait to meet you.